In nature, mistakes are not a chance to be corrected. You may be the strongest, the fastest, or the biggest. But here, those titles don't guarantee you dinner or a good morning. Because strength is only part of the game. The truth is, you don't lose because you're weaker. You lose because you chose the wrong way to fight. La selva amazónica, el enfrentamiento de los depredadores. There are those who choose to hide in the shadows for years just to wait for a single moment. There are those who transform their bodies into speed machines that surpass the limits of human vision. And there are those who turn patience into the most terrifying weapon of mass destruction. The real question here is, what determines who has the right to survive? Today, we will delve into the harshest lands to unravel the greatest secret of survival. It's not a battle of strength, it's a battle of choices. Our first destination is Kabini, India. Amidst the dense jungle, sunlight is fragmented by the sheer density of trees, creating a labyrinth of interwoven light and shadow. This is not a place for long-distance chases. This is the territory of ambushes, where a single careless step on a carpet of dry leaves is enough to end a life. Under the Kabini jungle, India, light is divided into patchy, dappled areas. This is a natural labyrinth, where the line between life and death is as thin as a dry leaf. In this half-light, half-dark space, every movement is monitored by hidden eyes. A perfect environment for someone who knows how to turn invisibility into a weapon. The dominant one here is a rare albino variant of the leopard. We call it Noctis, a male leopard with the blackness of the night. While ordinary leopards easily blend into the bushes, Noctis's jet black coat presents a significant challenge. It cannot hide in the usual way. It must fight with a different strategy. Noctis is in no hurry. It knows its strength is limited against a large herd of deer. It lies still, so patiently that even nearby birds don't notice the presence of a harbinger of death. It focuses on a young deer standing alone. Every centimeter of Noctis's muscles tenses like a tightly compressed spring. One step, two steps. The dry leaves beneath its feet make no sound. When the distance is less than 10 meters, Noctis unleashes its power. Instead of a tiring chase, it struck directly at the deer's momentary lapse of attention as it turned its head. With a decisive leap, Noctis brought its target down and delivered a powerful bite to the throat. Its fangs locked onto the trachea, cutting off the oxygen supply instantly. The prey didn't die from blood loss. It succumbed to suffocation within minutes. A quick and silent death, true to the nature of a phantom of the jungle. The hunt was successful, but the real challenge had only just begun. The noise and smell of blood would quickly attract predators. From daring packs of wild dogs to enormous Bengal tigers. Noctis couldn't confront a pack of dogs or a tiger 3 times its size head-on. Its solution was endurance. It used its incredibly strong shoulders to drag its prey, weighing twice its own body weight, up a branch more than 5 meters high. Here, amidst the foliage, it was truly safe. Once his territorial position was secure, Noctis needed something else: succession. This is where Nyx came in, a female leopard with a beauty as mysterious as the night. But in the world of leopards, mating is a dangerous game. Transient males lurk, ready to seize the right to reproduce. Noctis chose not to engage in meaningless, exhausting battles. He displayed his strength with a roar that echoed through the forest and a fierce presence to assert his dominance. After more than 90 days of gestation, Nyx chose the most secluded cave. Two new lives were born, blind, weak, and completely defenseless. At this point, the harsh conditions reached their peak. Nyx had to fast to protect her offspring, while Noctis had to patrol tirelessly for tens of kilometers. Any misstep in securing the cave, or a moment of carelessness on Noctis's part in the face of intruders, would cost a bloodline. But that instinct didn't just exist in Kabini's shadows. Elsewhere, halfway around the world, where things happened faster, more intensely, and death came in a completely different way. Where the hunter could become the hunt in the blink of an eye. Leaving the dimly lit spaces of Kabini, we enter a completely different battlefield, the Amazon rainforest. Here, space is so cramped and visibility so obscured that any chase becomes meaningless. In the Amazon, life and death are decided in an instant. Beneath these leaves, there is a creature that doesn't need bulging muscles to dominate. It's the praying mantis. It doesn't hide, it just waits. Its camouflage armor makes it part of the vegetation, a mobile guard post that no prey notices until it's too late. Normally, insects are prey to reptiles, but here, that rule is reversed. The praying mantis's target today is a forest lizard. The lizard moves, stops, then crawls again. The praying mantis remains motionless, like a wooden statue. When the lizard comes into sight, the praying mantis attacks. The attack happens in less than a second. The front legs, with their sharp spines, slam shut, pinning the prey's head. A decisive bite to the nervous system in the neck paralyzes the victim instantly. However, the most brutal aspect doesn't come from the enemy's claws, but rather from the moment of survival. While carrying out its mission of procreation, the male unexpectedly becomes the target of its own mate. It doesn't flee, as if accepting a predetermined fate. The female praying mantis begins her meal right from the male's head before mating is even complete. This is a cold calculation of nature. The female needs a huge source of protein immediately to nourish the hundreds of eggs forming in her body. Without this bloody meal, the next generation would die in the infancy due to malnutrition. The male has used his own body as a launching pad for the survival of his offspring. This sacrifice is the necessary price to prevent its bloodline from becoming extinct. Afterward, hundreds of eggs are encased in a rock-hard cocoon called an ootheca. This is a true gamble of nature. Amidst thousands of lurking dangers, only if a few individuals survive to adulthood does the fall of the male truly have meaning. But not every hunt in the Amazon takes place at such a frantic pace. Beneath the dense canopy, another world exists. A place where time seems to slow down and patience holds the power of life and death. Leaving the hustle and bustle of the forest canopy, we venture deep into the murky waterways of the Amazon. Here, the water flows slowly, and visibility underwater is almost zero. This is a world entirely different from the lightning-fast attacks of praying mantises. Below the surface, speed is no longer the key. What determines everything is patience. Under the dark water, space seems to stand still. In an environment where every enemy can hide beneath the mud, whoever is impatient first will be revealed. The protagonist here is the black caiman. With its rough, dark skin, it completely blends into the river like a rotting log. The caiman can lie still for hours without moving. It doesn't chase prey, but waits for prey to come to it. On the riverbank, a family of capybaras graze peacefully. A young capybara, separated from its pack, approached the water's edge to quench its thirst. Completely unaware that death was drifting just meters away. The caiman used the current to conceal its presence, leaving only its eyes and nostrils visible, like two small pieces of wood floating on the surface of the lake. It closed the distance so slowly that it made no ripples or sound. As the capybara lowered its head and touched its lips to the water's surface, the caiman unleashed its muscular strength. A powerful bite locked onto its prey, dragging it to the bottom of the deep river before it could utter a cry for help. Underwater, the caiman performed its death roll. The immense twisting force, combined with the continuous rotation, tore through the prey's body, rendering any resistance futile. Patience is not passivity. It is a form of silent strength, waiting for the perfect moment. But even the ruler of these waters has its moments of error. To digest its food and regulate its body temperature, the caiman is forced to leave its preferred environment. This is when its biggest weakness is revealed: its slowness and clumsiness on land. A jaguar had been observing the caiman for a long time. Unlike the caiman, the jaguar fights with intelligence and absolute precision. It doesn't attack the armor on its back, but silently approaches from behind, taking advantage of its opponent's blind spots. In the moment the caiman is most careless, the jaguar lunges out like lightning, bite pierces the skull, the reptile's fatal weakness. The dominant predator falls right on the sand because of its own overconfidence in its position. The death of a top predator like the black caiman is never wasted. After the jaguar satisfies its hunger and leaves, the real feast begins for the Amazon's cleanup crews. The crocodile carcass lying at the water's edge is an enticing invitation. The smell of blood lured the ferocious piranhas to the surface. They exploited the tears in the belly skin that the jaguar had ripped open to devour the tender flesh inside. On the shore, vultures and other scavengers used their sharp beaks to gnaw away at the remaining flesh. The armor-like skin that had protected the caiman when it was alive now became a barrier, but it couldn't stop the relentless cycle of energy. Even when the flesh was gone, its skeleton sank into the mud, becoming a habitat and source of calcium for microorganisms. The caiman's death was the beginning of thousands of other lives, returning nourishment to the river that had nurtured it. Beneath the murky waters of the Amazon, as the last ripples fade from the carcass of the dominant predator, we suddenly realize a harsh truth: nature has never operated on mercy. Everything we have just witnessed, from the semi-dark forests of Kabini to the dense foliage and deep rivers of the Amazon, are pieces of a grand picture of survival, where the line between predator and prey is sometimes as thin as a breath. Looking back on this journey, the answer to who has the right to survive has become clearer than ever. It is not the one with the longest fangs or the loudest roar. Survival is a symphony of harsh choices, where each individual must write their own destiny with instincts honed over millions of years of evolution. In Kabini, the black panther Noctis survives through shrewd calculations in every objective and an instinct to protect its bloodline from all enemies. It understands that strength lies not in destroying everything, but in knowing when to hide and when to strike to protect what matters most. Its very existence is a testament to the wisdom of a creature that masters the darkness. Meanwhile, in the lower layers of the Amazon, The praying mantis gambles its life on absolute reflex speed, where a thousandth of a second is the difference between a meal and extinction. For it, there is no concept of tomorrow unless it does its best in the present moment. The sacrifice of the male or the ferocity of the female both point towards one ultimate goal. Life must continue, even if the price is the individual's demise. And finally, deep within the river, the black caiman teaches us that patience is a strength. But complacency, when straying from one's natural environment, is the ticket to downfall. Even the most stable dynasty can crumble in a single moment of carelessness. Nature does not forgive those who forget who they are and where they stand. Survival, therefore, is not simply about surviving a day. It is an art of adaptation, a problem of mismanagement, where the price for a wrong answer is always life. Nature is cruelly fair. It gives opportunities to all, but only retains those who appreciate even the smallest variables of the environment. You don't lose because you are weaker than your opponent physically. You lose because you chose the wrong way to fight in your own world. Each animal we've just encountered possesses its own unique philosophy of life. But they all share a common thread: alertness and decisiveness in every life or death moment. Sometimes, stepping back to observe is the best way to move forward. The wild world still holds thousands of cruel rules and untold stories of the resilience of those who go against the current. It's an eternal cycle of rebirth, where the death of one becomes the foundation for the life of another, keeping the planet in perfect balance. Today's brutality is tomorrow's gift. What do you think of the 3 survival strategies we've just explored in the fierce battle of life? Will strategic intelligence, lightning speed, or unwavering patience be what helps you reach the end? Share your perspective in the comments below so we can discuss these valuable lessons from nature. If you find these stories meaningful, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next journeys. Thank you for listening and contemplating the brutal beauty of the wild world. Goodbye, and see you again in our next epic videos, where every decision could be the final one. And if you don't want to miss our next journeys unraveling the mysteries of the animal world, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Thank you for joining us. See you again in our next videos, where every decision could be the final one.
In the scorched African savannah, a lone female leopard raises her cub in silence, while a baby elephant grows up in the protective arms of the whole herd. So what makes maternal love, in the harsh wilderness, become the most enduring strength here? African wilderness. Iron motherly love in the fierce war. Dawn on the African savannah is not the beginning of peace, but the first warning of the day. When the first rays of sunlight sweep across the dry land, each creature here begins a race against time, where survival is measured by each breath. On the scorched yellow grass, a slender figure appears in the thin layer of mist. Cheetah, Acinonyx jubatus, the fastest runner in the mammal world. With a streamlined body, broad chest, slender legs, and non-retractable claws, they are the embodiment of speed. A 4-second burst of speed could take her to over 100 kilometers per hour, enough to take down any antelope in sight. But today, the mother leopard wasn't hunting because she was hungry. She was hunting for her children. Hidden in the shade of a low acacia bush were 3 cubs, not yet 3 months old. Their fur was mottled. Each day was a challenge, not just to survive, but to learn, to become true hunters. The mother leopard didn't leave the nest for long. In one morning, she had to stalk, kill, and bring back prey before the sun came up, before hyenas, lions, or eagles discovered the nest. The wind changed. She stopped. Ahead was a herd of Thompson's gazelles. They hadn't yet detected her presence. She crouched low, her steps light as feathers. Ears erect. eyes locked on the target. A lone cub. The moment came. The mother leopard shot out of the grass like a living arrow. Dust flies. Squeaks are short. The hunt is over in seconds. With extreme caution, she carries the prey back to the nest. Head held high, ears always listening for noise. A rustle could be a hyena sniffing, but today, the savannah is quiet. Returning to her cubs, she drops the prey. Three cubs scurry towards her, clumsy with each bite. But the savannah is never truly safe. A prey can also be contested by hyenas if they are unlucky enough to detect its scent. In the wild, where every sound carries danger, speed is more than skill. It is life. And motherly love. It is what makes that speed unstoppable. On the other side of the savannah, the ground trembles under the footsteps of gentle giants. These are the African elephants, Loxodonta africana, the largest of all land mammals. But don't let their size fool you. In the wild, big doesn't mean safe, especially when you're a baby elephant. A newborn elephant, weighing nearly 100 kilograms, is still teetering on its own 2 feet. It doesn't know how to use its trunk. Its ears haven't learned to fan itself. Everything is strange and scary. And in that vulnerable moment, the outside world is waiting. Baby elephants are perfect targets for lions, leopards, and even crocodiles if they stray from the herd near a river. But nature has given baby elephants a precious privilege: solidarity. The herd is led by an older female, the matriarch, who keeps the memories of migrations, secret watering holes in the dry season, and strategies for dealing with predators. Around the baby elephant is a living fortress, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, all ready to circle, forming a giant gray wall to protect the little creature. In the heat of the afternoon, the elephants stopped to rest near a shady grove. The peaceful atmosphere was suddenly broken. In the distance, a group of lionesses was quietly approaching. They moved in a circular motion, coordinated like trained warriors. Their eyes locked on the smallest calf. The mother elephant detected the presence of the enemy first. She let out a deep, drawn-out roar, not loud, but enough to make everyone in the herd stop. The moving wall formed instantly. The largest individuals retreated behind the calf, ears spread wide, trunks coiled. The mother elephant stepped forward, head bowed, ready. The lion stopped. They knew the price of trying to advance a few more meters. The lions gave up, turned away. And when the danger had passed, the mother elephant returned to her calf, gently touching its forehead with her trunk, as if to say, "I am still here." The maternal instinct of elephants is not just to care, but to fight in an organized way. Every step, every call, every protective circle is proof of a society where the protection of its young is the strongest bond. And it is motherly love, not tusks, not weight, that is the most powerful weapon of these gentle giants. Under the harsh sun of the African savannah, when most predators are resting in the shade, one creature moves silently, without a sound, without a trace. The leopard, Panthera pardus, is the most solitary and mysterious predator in the world of big cats. On the high branches of an ancient acacia tree, a female leopard lies motionless, her golden fur speckled with black rosettes, blending perfectly with the light filtering through the foliage. Her serene appearance hides a creature designed to kill. Her body is compact but muscular. Her limbs are flexible, Her claws are sharp and retractable to keep them sharp when hunting. Her powerful jaws, keen sense of smell, and especially her eyes, which can see clearly in low light, make her a silent and deadly hunter. Unlike lions that live in prides or cheetahs that move strategically, leopards choose to live alone. Each female leopard has her own territory, dozens of square kilometers in size, where she hunts, rests, and raises her young, all alone. Under a dense bush not far away, the mother leopard has hidden her most precious possessions, her cubs, only a few weeks old. With their small bodies, their fur still fuzzy, their spots barely visible, they are completely dependent on their mother. Their eyes are large, their gait is awkward, and their hunting instincts are not yet formed. They are easy targets if discovered. In the first months of their lives, the cubs do not leave the nest. Each day, their mother leaves, leaving them alone, silent and invisible. There is no protection other than perfect concealment, and the mother's punctual return. Now, as the sun reaches its zenith, the mother leopard senses the right moment. She climbs down from the tree branch, her body nimbly weaving through the bushes without stirring a blade of grass. Ahead, a herd of impalas grazed leisurely. They were agile animals, capable of leaping nearly 10 meters when running, with extremely sensitive hearing and vision. One wrong move, and all their efforts would be in vain. The mother cub crouched low to the ground. Her feet were soft as rubber, making no sound. Every step was carefully calculated. She chose her prey, a young impala that had strayed from the herd. The wind was favorable. No warning signal was given. Then, in a split second, she took off. The charge was like a spring off the ground, all her strength focused on speed and precision. The impala panicked and turned to run, but it was too late. A pounce, then a fatal bite to the throat, all in a matter of seconds. The mother quickly carried her prey to a nearby tree, using her expert climbing skills to pull the carcass high up, out of reach of the hyenas and lions. Up high, she ate the first part, then saved the rest, to bring back to her cub. Back in the bush where the cub waited, she let out a soft sound, half call, half reassurance. The cub poked its head out, rubbing against its mother's leg. Still awkward, but safe. In the bright light of the savannah, the leopard had not lost its silence. She was still a shadow moving through harsh landscapes. And more than that, a single but resilient mother, nurturing the next generation with skill, instinct, and absolute devotion. Amid the fine dust rising from the dry ground, a familiar sound spread across the savannah. Synchronized footsteps, a soft hiss like a whistle. Appearing like an organized whirlwind, the African wild dog, Lycaon pictus, charged with speed and purpose. But behind that disciplined exterior lies a society where sharing and caring for their young far exceeds that of any other carnivore. African wild dogs have distinctive patchy coats, each one unique, like an abstract painting of nature. With large, leaf-shaped ears that dissipate heat and enhance hearing, they are warriors of the savannah. But what sets them apart most, not their fangs nor their speed, is their almost unrivaled team spirit. A pack of wild dogs can number up to 20 individuals, sometimes more. There is only one breeding pair, the alpha male and alpha female, but the entire pack is responsible for caring for the pups that are born. It is a form of extended family, where each member is a protector. In a small cave on the edge of the bush, hidden from the harsh sunlight, a group of puppies, just a few days old, are huddled together, sleeping soundly under the close supervision of a young female. Not a biological mother, but a nanny assigned by the pack. Every day, the adults take turns hunting. With their siege and cooperation tactics, African wild dogs have the highest hunting success rate in the carnivore world, up to 80%, far surpassing lions and leopards. When they return with meat, the first thing they do is not eat it, but feed it back to the puppies, an amazing display of collective care. Any member of the pack can raise their pups this way, regardless of bloodline. On the dry ground, the puppies chase each other's tails, playing under the close watch of the pack's uncles and aunts. And when a call is heard in the distance, the pack immediately gathers, moving forward as one unit. In a wild world where survival instincts are often linked to competition and solitude, African wild dogs are proof that true strength lies in caring for each other, and that raising a new generation is not the responsibility of an individual, but the duty of the whole community. In the middle of a hot savannah, a lioness lies motionless under a low tree. 3 cubs nestled beside her, sleeping soundly in the steady breathing of their mother. They are only a few weeks old, weak, not yet fully open, and completely dependent on their mother for protection. Lions are the only big cats that live in prides. But when they give birth, the female lion always leaves the pride for the first few weeks, to hide her cubs from predators, hyenas, leopards, and even male lions, who are not their fathers. If the new male dominates the pride, he will hunt down and kill all the cubs to force the female back into heat. In that moment, the mother lion becomes a fierce protector, ready to confront her own kind to win the survival of her cubs. When the cubs are strong enough, she brings them back to the pride. From then on, all the females in the group will care for them, cross-feeding, keeping them warm, taking turns guarding. A maternal community, bound by blood and instinct. The mother lion does more than hunt. She nurtures, protects, and teaches the next generation of the wild kingdom. She has strength, strategy, and an unshakable heart. In the endless fields of the African savannah, where the sun burns the ground and the wind carries the scent of blood, dust, and survival, stories unfold every day, silently but fiercely. They are not glorious battles, not moments of domination, but the slow struggles to nurture a young life in the midst of a death spiral. From the lightning-like charge of a lone mother leopard, sacrificing her meal to lure the enemy away from her nest, from the impenetrable circle of a giant elephant herd, where each individual, old and young, is ready to build a living fortress to protect a toddler. From the shadow of a leopard, crawling in the sun, carrying each piece of meat up a tall tree, hidden from the world, reserved only for a single child waiting for its mother to return. From the absolute unity of a pack of African wild dogs, where there are no children of mine, only our children. To the fierce eyes and determined steps of a lioness, confronting enemies many times larger, just to fight for one more day of life for her little child. All these images are not just instinct. It is motherly love, an eternal language that all species understand. In a world where death lurks at every step, where the strongest are not necessarily the ones who survive, the most extraordinary thing lies not in claws or speed. It lies in patience, sacrifice, and silent, wordless love. That is how wild creatures continue to live. Not by winning, but by caring. Not by power, but by love. In what is considered the most cruel place on the planet, motherly love becomes the most powerful and lasting weapon. And in every run, every pounce, every lick or roar is a silent declaration. As long as mother lives, child will not be left behind.